Hi everyone. I am going to do a painting today that is in the style of the one that I did for the giveaway. I have gotten a lot of questions and requests for a video and a lot of questions on how I did that. So I'm gonna try and not recreate that one, but something similar. Anyway, just to kind of show you all how I got the flow and movement of that particular painting going. Let's see. I'm going to use Slate and Cool Peri, the Tim Holtz Ranger brand alcohol inks, my 91% isopropyl alcohol, and some Pinata brass for a metallic, which I have in my little needle nose bottle here. That's what you'll see in that, and my alcohol in another one of the needle nose bottles, which you can get those on Amazon. There are some links down below in the description box to some of the things that I get asked about the most. These are one of the things I get asked about quite a bit. There's some links down below down below the description if you want to check out any of that. Also, my hair dryer, which any of you all who've watched my videos before are probably getting tired of hearing about. This is my most asked question, is what I'm using. So it's just a Revlon brand curling brush hair dryer that I took the brush attachment off the end of. Has a cool setting. It's got cool, low heat, and high heat. I do almost always use it on cool. I'll flip it over on heat every now and then if I start seeing some of the little moisture beads starting on the paper or the UPO or plastic or whatever I happen to be working on. Today it is Graphics Opaque White Craft Plastic that I am using. And I will get started on this painting. So I started this with the slate first. Did my kind of initial, you'll see I'm saying slate. I think I started this with the slate. Sorry, it's late. I'm trying to get this done tonight. Yeah, I put down the slate, then just a little bit of the Pinata brass on top of it, and then the alcohol. Sort of squirted it up under the brass a little to try and lift that up just a little. And then instead of initially starting out blowing, if I'm going to do one like this, I tend to do this, what you see on here, a little bit more often, just to kind of spread it on down the paper without starting to dry it, because I want it to get, stretched out pretty far before the alcohol starts to dry. And then I come back in with the dryer and start pushing it towards the middle. It's still kind of spread out, but I want a little bit of spread on it because as I work it, I'll come to the outside of the color and in sort of small sections, move it in towards the center of that color and down. And you'll see what I mean here in just a few minutes, because I want to try and create sort of a center line in one like this. I don't want it to just be wispy all over. I want to have a line down through the middle of it. And I went back and added a little more on the end there because I had wanted to stretch that just a little farther out. You all will see in this one, I was kind of having a hard time with this one at times. The metallics sometimes just do absolutely perfect for me, and I've got no trouble with them. And then other times I cannot get them to do anything. They just absolutely do not cooperate with me. And this painting was one of those that they really did not cooperate with me on. They kind of just stuck to the paper. I couldn't get them up. But you'll see on in the video, I finally resorted to scrubbing with a paintbrush. Put some alcohol down, scrub with a paintbrush to try and get that Pinata brass color lifted up, because it was just sticking on there just like glue. All right. You can kind of see what I was talking about. You see where I'm sort of forming that line. I'm blowing towards the center and down at the same time. Now, if I feel like it's getting a little too faded out, I'll blow back out, towards the outside and then back in. But always, if you want those super soft and super translucent edges that are on some of my paintings, particularly the one that was on the giveaway, that I had so many requests for a video on how I had done that. But make sure, and I think I might have mentioned this on another video, but make sure that you keep that outer edge of your ink, make sure you keep that wet, that you keep alcohol farther out on your paper, or Yupo, whatever, I'm just calling it paper. Make sure that you keep that alcohol farther out than your ink. That if, as long as there's alcohol farther out than your ink, then it's not going to dry in that hard line as you're blowing it back in. So you see how I'm kind of just coming, in and down for the most part. That's where I want my final moves to be. I might, go work it back and forth a little bit. But in the end, what I'm going to try and do is make sure that, I get it going straight down. And I'm not sure how well you all can see this or not. But, you get the little fingers of ink sometimes. And that, I actually kind of want that to happen here, except I just want one. And I will try to get one running down the center, because that kind of acts as a good dam for me, that when I start coming back from the other side, it kind of catches the ink a little bit. Makes it a little easier not to cross over and accidentally erase my line with the wet alcohol and ink that I'm pushing back towards the center. So I just, I keep doing this all the way down. I tend to go back from side to side. I don't finish one side all at one time. I kind of go back and forth. Pretty much the most I will do is maybe 2 on one side. I usually try to go to alternate back and forth, back and forth. Excuse me. But every now and then I'll go ahead and do another one down below, especially if I'm trying to get that center line going on down a little bit farther. I might tend to work the side that has more ink on it, a heavier concentration of ink on it, so that I can get some of that concentration of ink blown back towards the middle. So if I need it on the other side, then I have it there in the middle where I can kind of pick it up if I need it. So you all may get a lot of silences here, because this one kind of ran on just a little longer than I was hoping it would. My mistake was I was trying to hurry. and of course, when you hurry, things never go like you want them to. I really was. I was trying to do this quickly. We've got company coming. Our daughter and son-in-law and grandson are coming in the morning, actually. They're flying in from North Carolina, going to stay with us through the Thanksgiving holiday, and I'm really excited about it. But I knew that I was probably not going to have time to do much painting, and especially to try and do a voiceover for a video or anything for you all while they are here. So I was trying to do the painting really quickly, and then, get this voiceover done really quickly for you all, so I would have one to post while they were here, especially since I was just amazed at how many people responded on some of the different art sites, the art groups on Facebook where I posted this. I was just kind of, not this picture, the giveaway picture. I was amazed at how many people were asking me, how I did it. And did I have a video of it, or could I do a video of it? So I wanted to get this up pretty quick, since there was such a big interest in how I had done that one. I think it's not really any different than any other wispy painting, other than you're just working in a straight line. And the way that I did mine, I kind of kept it angled, going back towards the center, at angles, not I didn't try to tee into it. I'm sorry, I think it's after 11 o'clock at night here right now, and I'm fading fast. But I've got to get this done tonight, or you all won't be seeing it until sometime the week after Thanksgiving. So, I can't really, I was a little bit surprised at the number of people asking how I did it, because to me it really wasn't any different than any of the wispy paintings that I do, other than I just, worked it in a straight line. I didn't spread it out all over the place, or, just sort of worked it all in a straight line, and then went back with another color and crossed over it. Or I might have kind of, I don't think I really exactly crossed over, but I came in from each side and made it meet in the middle, so it kind of does look like it completely, it does cross over it, but I didn't do it all in one line. And this, when you see me rub it right here, this is part of where the brass had left. The ink was totally gone, the paper was white, but there was just this little ring of the metallic brass that I had used around the edge, and so I was just taking my finger and kind of wiping it, because if you've ever done that with the brass, you'll know if it's not stuck to the paint, that you can, that the thin, just kind of sparkly look, you can pretty much just wipe it right off the the Yupo or plastic or whatever you're painting on. I tried not to overwork this, because, I didn't want to lose the center line, but I also didn't want to lose those little lines that are separating each little section that I worked on the sides. So, I was trying to not do too much crossing back over that with the next batch of alcohol that I put down. So that you kind of had these nice little veins running through there, going up the sides. You see, when I get down here to the bottom, or closer to the bottom, I tend to start kind of straightening it out a little bit more, not have it quite as angled. That's, and you'll see, I'll actually, I turned it around so that I could make my sections, come out straighter. And then I also needed to, kind of wisp it down there at the bottom as well. So I would do the exact same thing that I did at the top. Just bring it out and then blow it straight back. I do it in 2 sections, side by side, so that I can kind of keep that center line once again flowing through the painting. So I'm trying to think if there's anything that that I really needed to tell you all about this, but it's pretty self-explanatory. I'll go back. This is what I'm doing right here. This, if there's a spot that I don't like the way it looks, if I've left too much of an edge, if it's not soft enough looking at the edge, or if I feel like the angle's not exactly what I want it to be, I went back in and fixed it here before I start adding the next color. This, I didn't have, with the slate, I didn't have much trouble with the brass. It was something about the cool peri that I used. I don't know why it was, it might as well have been some kind of glue that I stuck down on the stuck into the paper with. It just did not want to move at all. And now, if you use a color like Cool Peri too, it is very pastel, very light color. You'll see I used a ton of it in this painting, way more than I would normally use for any of the darker colors. But I knew I was going to have a really difficult time with this. In fact, I put alcohol down with it here, but you'll see in a little bit, at one point I went back and just did the straight ink. I didn't even put alcohol with it because when I started wisping it, it just disappeared. And I've used Cool Peri before, but I've never tried to spread it out as much as I was right here. So I've never used it in such a large section before. So I should have thought about that, just how pastel it was going to be, and probably not even added any alcohol to it on my initial puddle. Just dried just the ink with the metallic, and then gone back and worked it with alcohol, and not added alcohol to the puddle to start with. Oh, excuse me. Painting like this is kind of funny because you look at that right there and it's just a big old hot mess. It's amazing what you can do when you start out with just such a big hot mess on your paper. So you can see again, I'm just coming in and down at the same time. Just want to push that ink back towards the slate color with this one. So I'm coming in and down and trying to, as I go from side to side, I want it to meet in the middle. I don't want it to cross over much if I can help it. For some reason, as I'm rewatching this video, doing this voiceover, it doesn't look quite. It doesn't look as light colored. That's cool. Peri doesn't look as light colored in the video as it did to me as I was actually painting. But now you can see here what a hard time I'm having getting the metallic to move. It just wanted to sit there. I did manage to get some of it pushed back in, but there you can see added a little bit more just ink to try to darken it up a little bit too, since I felt like it was kind of getting a little too washed out. I have never used these two colors together just by themselves before. I've always had, if I was going to do something like these two together, I would have always had a different, either a sort of an aqua color or a darker purple or something in with it as well. So that also made it a little different for me, working with that cool peri by itself as such a pastel color. This painting is one of those. It's probably a really good thing that you all can't read my mind, because I get so frustrated sometimes. This is one of those that did it. Sometimes I just can, completely lose myself in the painting, and it's like almost like, oh, whoa, I'm done. Where did the time go? And then other times it's just, I don't know, nothing is working the way I want it to. And it's almost always, it's my fault. It's usually when I'm pressed for time, and I probably shouldn't be trying to paint anyway, knowing that I don't have a lot of time. But there are times that I want to paint regardless of how much time I have. So, and this was one of those times that I really wanted to paint. And I also wanted to do a video, which just put a little more pressure on me, trying to make sure that I kept it short for the video as well. There's times that you guys would just die of boredom if you had to watch me do one of these that ends up taking me 2 hours to get anything accomplished that I actually want. Anything that looks like a painting that anyone would not turn their nose up at. And I think those of you who have tried this, you understand that too, I'm sure. It's when you look at one of these paintings, it just doesn't look like it would be as hard as it is to get this result sometimes. That there are times when it's just really difficult. Well, for me anyway. I hope that maybe some of you I'll never have any trouble, and that is awesome. I am so happy for you if you don't. But for me, I do occasionally have those times when I just feel like nothing is going right. And then I show it to my husband, and he says, "Oh, wow, that looks great." And I'm going, "Are you nuts? Did you look at it? Let me go get you your glasses." Yeah, right there, that little pause there, I wasn't painting. That's where I went and got my brush. I am doing this on my phone, and so it's hard for me to see it. So if you're watching this on a computer screen, I'm sure you all can see really well what I was talking about. I just barely dampened the brush with some alcohol and just kind of was trying to scrub up some of the brass color that I had used on it. And there was me going, all right, this looks like crud. I'm just going to slap some more ink on it and start this whole side over again. I left down what was there, but I had gotten so frustrated that I was just like, yeah, I'm just starting over. Yeah, there's some more where I'm just trying to get up some of the brass that's on there. I think at that point didn't even care if it stayed brass. I didn't care if it mixed in with the purple and I just ended up with a shimmery or cool peri. If I just ended up with a shimmery purple looking color, that was fine with me. I just did not want it looking dirty. I have had times before, especially with the lighter colors, with the metallic, where it just kind of leaves a dirty looking place unless you're looking at it from an angle where you can really see the kind of golden glint from it. It's I don't know, it just looks dirty at times. Makes your paper look, to me, it just doesn't look good. I guess some people don't mind it, but it really bothers me, and most of the time I will try to get that up. There have been times that I've left it because it doesn't really look that bad in a certain type of painting. But with one like this, where you want that kind of super soft, wispy, sort of elegant look, I guess, yeah, it just did not look good in there at all. And you can see where I kind of chased that little finger of ink down through there so that would kind of, be my guide for my center line to help kind of butt each side up against. Sorry, I hope y'all didn't hear me slurp my drink. I had to stop and get a sip of drink. While we're, well, I really don't have anything to talk about for just a second because I'm just doing the same things that I did on the slate. Just trying to go back and forth from side to side and get that worked in, and occasionally getting the brush out to kind of loosen up that metallic to get it to flow back towards the center as well. I just wanted to say thank you again to all of you for watching the videos, and I just get some of the most wonderful, lovely compliments from you all. Everyone's super sweet. You all have been great, and it really keeps me inspired to keep on doing this when I hear back from you all just how much the videos have helped you to learn this technique yourselves. So that's great, and that's the whole reason that I started doing it, or the whole reason I started doing the videos. Was also getting just a lot of comments on art sites, people wanting to know how I did it, and did I have a video channel or YouTube channel, and or videos they could watch. But yeah, there is not a whole lot out there on doing the wispy style of alcohol inks. There's no, you can find quite a few videos on using alcohol inks in different manners, but there's just not a whole lot of them with the wispy look. So it was a little frustrating to me when I was learning. Not that it was that long ago. It's kind of funny. It's been less than a year. I think I started doing this in March of this year. Which is 2019, just in case you're watching this video at some point down in the future. So when I made this video, I had only been doing this for, well, this is the middle of November, so it's since March. What's that, 8 months? Sorry, I actually had to count. Yes, I'm getting that tired. I actually had to stop and count. So, yeah, about 8 months or so, I think. Now, as I get down to the slate or, whatever other color it is, when you're going to cross over your colors, be sure you don't over blend it. You want to have your colors kind of blend together. I can't think how to put this. You want to be able to see both colors, but what I like to do is have just a little bit of the color that I'm crossing over. I want to have just a little bit of that color coming up into the other color. I'm sorry. Y'all, I know I'm making no sense tonight. It seems like I have to do all my videos either, super early in the morning or late at night. A lot of times it's hard to find time to do things with homeschooling our two granddaughters that we're raising and housework and just family time and all kinds of other things. There's just always something going on. It's difficult to find time when I can do it when I'm not half asleep. I'm sorry. I totally went brain dead now. I cannot for the life of me remember what I was talking about. Oh, crossing over the colors. Yeah. So you don't want to overwork it because you don't want your center. Well, you might. I didn't want my center here to completely blend into a third new color. I just wanted to have hints of each of the two colors that I was working without creating a new one right there, if that makes any sense. You see, I made a big old mess out of that one. That turned out a lot wider than I had wanted it to. I wasn't really happy with this one when I got done. I felt like it looked too much like an X. I brought my the shorter end, I guess, was a little too long or something. I don't know, but I didn't angle my kind of purple wings there. I didn't angle them quite enough. It kind of looked like a big giant X to me. I wasn't real thrilled with the composition of it when I got finished, but it's okay. It wasn't one that I loved just for that fact, but other than that, it was okay. The wispiness of it was good. It was just kind of that feeling like it looked like a big X on the paper. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to go back and redo some stuff on it, trying to get rid of the X look. The problem there is if I start messing with it, and since I'm satisfied with it, I probably should leave it alone, because a lot of times you'll fix one to death. You will kill your painting if you try to fix too much stuff on it. Which is one reason I'm always making my husband look at it. Say, all right, look at this one, see what you think, just to see if he sees some of the issues that were bothering me. Because if he doesn't see it, probably nobody but me is going to see it. So, and there's been times I've even asked him, well, what do you think about this? Does that not kind of look bad? Should I go back and fix it? And so, and usually he says, no, I think it looks fine. I think I'll just leave it like it is. So, and he's probably right, because the times that I go back and try and fix it, it doesn't. It's like taking a shortcut, Shortcuts make long delays. Yep. Fixing a painting. Yep. That's like just heading off-road altogether. And you can see I was having the same trouble on this side. Not sure. Oh, I had a fuzz in it right there. I was trying to dig a fuzz out of it. But I did have the same trouble on this side with the Pinata brass wanting to just kind of stick to the paper and not flow like I wanted it to. And I don't know. It could possibly be that there's something in the cool peri color. I don't know, that kind of binds the micas or whatever they use in this to create the metallic look. I'm not sure what the deal is. Or if it was just something that I was doing that I don't normally do. I can't really tell from watching this video that there's anything that I wouldn't normally do, so I don't know what it was. So you can see I've got that center line forming again on this side with running my little finger of ink down through there. So for those of you who are new to my channel, thank you for watching. And, if you like what you see, click like, click subscribe, and if you will hit that little bell, you'll get notified when I post a new video. And I don't post them so often that it will drive you crazy getting notifications from me, because I really am very lucky if I get to post one a week anymore. It's anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks usually between videos. There may be some times that I can get some up a little bit quicker, but it just life is kind of busy right now. I'd hope things would settle down a little bit once we got our move over with. Since we moved from North Carolina to the state of Washington. But right now, it's just life. We've gotten moved, we got everything unpacked, we're settled into the house, but it's just life. We've got school going on, and just trying to be a family with whatever time my husband, gets off work, so just doesn't leave a lot of time for my extracurricular activities. Oh, I'm so sorry. So there you can see I kind of wanted to have the purples. I wanted it to all sort of fade into each other so that there wasn't just, the slate color line coming down and then just getting completely crossed over by the purple. So there's where I'm going back in each kind of corner right there in each of the angles and working just a touch to kind of blend those colors to give it more of a mix there, not such a hard delineation of the colors right there. Yeah, cleaning up a little more brass. So I was just trying to make sure everything was good and dry right there. And there's times when I go back and watch these that I can't remember why I was doing a specific thing, especially if I'm doing this on my phone, because the picture's so small that I'm thinking, well, that looked pretty good. What on earth was I doing right there? But I can see that now. I was trying to blend the purple into the cool peri into the slate, just a touch more right there. And just going back and trying to soften up and get rid of all the little brass lines that I could. So, excuse me. That right there, I was one of those places that I probably should have left alone, but I just had too much of an outer line there. I didn't have the gradient that I was looking for. It was just a little too delineated on the outside edge of the ink, so I had gone back and tried to fix it, and then I just caused myself a world of hurt for a few minutes and fixed that, messed up something else, had to fix that. That kind of thing was going on. And you can go back in with a Q-tip with some alcohol on it and rub that out, but I don't like to do that because if there is any little hint of the color there, then you may mess it up. So, and there you have it. I stopped it at this point before I messed it up. Like I said, I was pretty happy with it. Wasn't my favorite painting that I've done, but I'm pretty satisfied with it, and it gave you all a chance to kind of see how I did that, pushing that ink kind of back in and down like I did on the giveaway painting. And congratulations again, Annette, by the way. I hope that you are enjoying your painting if you've gotten it. And I will hopefully have another video up after this one within a week or so, after I get this one posted. So everyone have a good night, and I'll see you soon. Bye.